Back again. What's going on, y'all? This is Real Estate Q&A Sessions, week number 22. Consistently every Thursday, 12 o'clock. I am apologizing right now because I'm not apologizing. Instagram got something going on with this network connectivity. I've been trying to connect and make sure I'm on here at the time I'm supposed to be on here for the past like 15 minutes. And we were having some connection issues. I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi. I don't know if it's Instagram. Don't know what it is. But either way, we're back here. Real Estate Q&A Sessions, week 22. Consistently showing up every Thursday, 12 o'clock. Not for myself, but for you guys. So I appreciate you showing up. Thank you for always supporting the show. And everybody that's been rocking with me since the day I started doing this. I much appreciate you. So thank you. Much appreciated. Also, for anybody that doesn't know, if you didn't wake up and find out, if you just are, I don't know, living under a rock, it is October 1st. You already know what it is. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I wouldn't be right if I didn't start this thing off talking about how we're going to support the pink this month. Not this month, but every month hereafter. We rolling, we fighting for our survivors and anybody that's going through breast cancer right now. Make sure you show some love to them because, we don't want them feeling like they're going through this by themselves. It's just not the thing we want to do. We want to make sure we use our voices, we use our love and our compassion to support those that are still fighting, still riding, still surviving, and all the ones that are in our memories. So, I wouldn't be right if I didn't say that. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Y'all make sure y'all wear y'all pink. Shout out to everybody that's, gonna do big things this month and make sure that we show our support. So again, love yours. You already know I'm gonna be rocking my stuff every day. I got pink on me every day, like literally every day. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to you guys. So again, this is Real Estate Q&A Sessions, week 22. Appreciate y'all for showing up. We got Kenneth Will. What's going on, my man? Hey. We got Mike Taylor in the game. What's going on, bro? You know what I'm saying? WKJ, what's up, my man? What's up, Wayne? What's up, man? It's Breast Cancer Month, man. What's going on, baby? Appreciate y'all showing up. If you guys have not been here before, this is a Q&A session. Basically, we talking anything, everything real estate. You guys can ask me. Dang, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Look, I just got a new order. Somebody literally just ordered a shirt as I'm sitting here talking to you guys. I just got a notification. So appreciate the support, appreciate the love. This month means a lot. It means a lot to a lot of people. And so I want you guys to do the best you can to support. So again, if you guys haven't been here before, ask anything, everything real estate related. We're gonna go ahead and kick it off a little bit. Let a couple more folks pile in. If you guys got anything to ask, questions, anything regarding real estate, if you just jumping in the game, if you are in the middle of trying to get your first property, if you want to learn how to wholesale, flip houses, figure out renovation costs and things like that, hey, this is where you come and you ask those questions. If you're trying to buy your first house and trying to decide whether you're gonna house hack or you're gonna do Airbnb, short-term rentals, whatever it is, this is where you come. So this is a space for you guys. It's not for me, it's for you guys, right? So the only thing I ask in return, screenshot this, right? I gotta say, screenshot this right now, and show it, post it to your story and let folks know what we're doing. That's the only thing I ask for you guys. And also, if you guys are consistently coming every week, and if you show up every week this month, I got something for you. So I got a little contest that I'm gonna do, and it's all about just raising awareness and raising support. And there'll be a prize or maybe some prizes at the end of the month. Once we get down to once we start, getting consistently going. So appreciate you guys showing up. We got some people already up in here. Mike Allen, what's going on, baby? How you living? We gotta go hit these sticks, man. These cigars. Mike, I need some Love Yours gear. Hey, brother. Hey, ain't nothing but a word, man. Ain't nothing but a word when you talking about this Love Yours gear, man. So just let me know. Sneaker Fiend, what's going on? Polo, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you showing up. That's my line, brother. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you guys, all you guys, for consistently showing up each and every week. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're gonna do our thing, man. And and we're going to make sure we support this month. So again, we're going to go ahead and get it going. If you guys haven't already, that little question button right there, if you guys got any questions, any discussions, anything you want to talk about, anything you want to share, make sure you guys drop that below, whether it's in the comment section or it's in the little button right there. You see what I'm talking about? That button right there. Yeah, if you press that, you can post little questions there, and I can post it on the feed. So that'll be much appreciated. Again, bring your questions, support, screenshot, post it to your story, let folks know what we're doing, because we don't get enough. We're not going to get any more value if this thing does not grow, right? It's all about questions and inquisitive minds and things like that and topics. So when you share and post to your story and let folks know what's going on, and they might be inquisitive or want to know this, that, or the third, and they come here and they ask those questions, the questions that you might not have thought about, that's what's going to provide value for you. Not just for you, but just for me too. You know, some things get asked in here that I don't know the answer, right? Or it'll come up and then I'm like, oh damn, I ain't even think about that like that. So again, you know, stuff happens. So while I wait on questions, feel free to ask. I was going to go into a little scenario that I had this week with a seller. So as you guys know, I do a lot of off-market marketing, different strategies and things like that to acquire more homes, right? Whether it be for rentals or whether it be for wholesaling, which is second tier in my business. But yeah, I do a lot of off-market marketing. This is where you're reaching out to sellers directly. So where normally if you guys were to be looking to buy a house, you hook up with an agent. That agent will show you around, run you some comps, help you put in an offer, XYZ. You go to close, it's already, the house is marked up. The agent's already getting, both agents are getting cuts and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of, that's your normal process when it comes to buying a house. And there's nothing wrong with that. Right. There's also the route of going off market, which is where you set up systems in play to where you are directly trying to reach out to sellers that have a house that they would like to sell either now or in the near future. So this stuff happens a lot. People buy off market properties. All of my houses are off market. And so you run into a lot of people in situations and things like that. I'm pretty sure if Mike's still watching, he can attest to that. So yeah, I usually get leads coming in this way, that way, whatever, right? And Mike said, put me on your investment deal list so I can buy flips through you and have you list them as well, bro. Yeah, so Mike's a hustler. Got you. You already know what it is. Tom said we got to do a deal together, bro. I think it's long overdue. We definitely got to get a deal together either before 2020 is over or at the start of 2021, but it's bound to happen. So definitely, I got you. So I had a lead come in, and guys, again, for real, if you guys got any questions, ask. I'm gonna go ahead and talk and tell my little story about what happened to me this week, but feel free to ask questions because this is what it's all about, right? So yeah, I had a guy come in this week, said he had a house to sell, and said he was like, yeah, I got this house to sell, whoop-de-whoop. I'm going to be going to Florida tomorrow. So it's either you see me today or you're not going to see me at all. I'm there. What's good? So pull up, and I didn't, my VA usually handles my inbound calling and outbound calling, and so I got some information. But the guy, when I pulled up, very nice corner lot house in the suburban part of the city, and had a garage and all this kind of stuff. And he was like, yeah. Before we was on the phone, he was like, yeah, I got a car and I got an RV that I want to sell too. We could do a package deal with the house. Woo, cool. Hey, yeah. I pull up. Guys sitting on the porch. Guy's like 94 years old. And dude was he was up there. So he said he had a 81 what was it? Dang it. He said he had he had an 81 Corvette. He had an 81 Corvette and it had the Stingray body on it. And he said that's in the garage and I can sell that to you for the price for the house. I mean with the house. And he said I got an ATV, not an ATV, but RV, I almost said ARV, but an RV that he wanted to sell as well. So I was like, okay, cool, yeah. We walked through the house. House was bad, completely bad, but it was very good in terms of what would qualify as a flip. It was a very, I could say it was a small Cape Cod, like 1,200 square feet. And if I had to guess, I actually put like I had put 65, no, not 65. I put like, I think it was either 55 or 60K on the renovation. And small house, but it needed a lot of essentials. So like HVAC, the basement was not finished. Anytime you're flipping a house and you got like 7-foot ceilings and all your comps have finished basements, guess what you better be doing if you're going to be flipping that house? You better be finishing that basement. But here's also the thing, right? When you come to your renovation costs, where do people most spend their money when they're flipping houses? In the basement. So the basement is a huge money pit when it comes to renovating these houses, because if you go down to any basement and you start and you plan on flipping a house and you're taking a house as is, and I check for three things, right? First, as I step foot in the basement, I'm like, what's the height, right? Is it a finishable height? Is it a legal height? If I got a 7-foot plus ceilings, then I know that this can be, if I finish this, I can consider this space finished space. It can count toward more square footage for the house. So you can very easily have a 1,200 square foot house, or an 800 square foot house, or 1,000 square foot, thousand square, you know what I'm talking about. And have an unfinished basement, have 500 whatever extra square feet, and it not count toward the square footage of the total square footage of the house. If you finish that space and it's of legal height, which is 7 feet, then in most cases, if you were to get this house assessed again, then that square footage is going to be added to your house, which is going to expand the size of it and make it a little bit more desirable, especially when people are looking for larger houses. So that adds value. A finished basement adds value. So anytime you see a basement that is of height, 7 foot, I said 7 foot, right, and has the ability to be finished, you finish it, right, if it's within the budget and if your comps say that it should be finished. Now, in the event where you wouldn't finish it, would be like a neighborhood where you have huge homes, right? Huge homes above grade. So like if you had like 2,000 square feet above grade, 1,800 square feet above grade, 2,200 square feet above grade, and these are huge 3-level story homes, which they do have out here in Baltimore, detached homes. You're going to be spending a lot of money already above grade to renovate everything above grade, because it's such a huge space. So you're doubling your paint costs, you're doubling your flooring costs, your carpet costs, all that kind of stuff. In those events, most of the time, those basements aren't finished because there's so much space above grade to where you don't really need to finish the basement. What they'll do is they'll, paint the walls, dry lock the walls, gray paint the floors, and they call it a day. Put some recessed lights down there. Boom. It works, right? So anyway, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but when you go into basements, you want to check those three things. You want to check the height first. You want to check the height. Do you feel moisture in the air? Does it smell like moisture in the air? Does it smell like mold, right? That's the second thing you want to sit there and try to assess, right? Does it feel dank in here? You know what I'm saying? You're checking for moisture. You want to know that if I might have to waterproof this basement, right? Waterproofing is not cheap, depending on who you go to. So these are this is the second thing you want to be looking for, is like, do you feel humidity in the air? Do you smell mold, right? And the third is you want to be able to see water damage or traces of any leaks going along the floor. And I say all this because when I went into this house, right, and this guy is showing me around this beat up house, that I'm like, this is a perfect flip. I'm going into the basement, I'm checking the height, 7 foot. Do I feel moisture in the air? Do I smell moisture in the air? No. But when I did my visual inspection, guess what? I saw water spots on the floor. I saw a little bit of mold in the crevices in the corners of the floor. That is a clear indication that you probably want to get that basement waterproof. One thing when you're flipping houses is you don't want to flip a house and here's the thing, you don't want to renovate a house and go cheap and go cheap in the basement, right? And so waterproofing, I told you, it's an expensive expense depending on who you go to, right? If you got guys that's doing this stuff, you can negotiate deals that can be cheaper, but it typically is going to cost you a couple grand, right? So let's say you renovate the basement, right, and you go and try to sell the house, but you didn't waterproof it. You don't want to be that person that, somebody buys that house and 6 months later they're calling you like, hey, this basement is flooded and, I'm having all these water issues and all that kind of stuff. You just don't want to be in that scenario or be that person. So you want to make sure that you do things the right way. And if your basement needs to be waterproof, and if you get signs and indications of water, mold, water damage, wet, humidity, all that kind of stuff, you probably need to waterproof it or dry lock the walls, and putting a humidifier down there. Those things work. Those things extract all that moisture out of the air in those basements. So the reason I'm saying all this is because of the house that I went into earlier this week, right? Those are some of the things that you want to check on when you actually go down to basements, because again, basements can be money pits. Just keeping it funky with you guys. Looks like we got a question here. Sneaker Fiend, I'll pause that. Sneaker Fiend. Actually, hold on. Before we go, we got Sneaker Fiend's already up here. Faithful Finances going on. Flawed Beauty. Take a pic. What's going on, Dinka? How you living, man? Appreciate y'all showing up. We do got a question for Sneaker Fiend though. What's your thoughts on turnkey investments? What are my thoughts on turnkey investments? Turnkey investments. So here's the thing, right? Turnkey investments can be great. They can be good things for you. I don't buy turnkey investments. There's nothing wrong with turnkey investments. Here's the thing: you have to assess what you're looking for and what what angle you want to take, because there's pros and cons, right? There's pros and cons to everything, right? And so for me, when I look at turnkey investments, I think that turnkey investments could be a great investment if you're not looking to get into the weeds of the business, right? I'm not saying you shouldn't get into the weeds, because you should, but if you're not looking to get into the weeds of having to hire contractors to fix this up, fix that up, fix this up, and then you got to renovate and all that kind of stuff. Turnkey investments, you're gonna pay a higher price for. You're gonna pay a little bit more bread, and you're gonna buy maybe at the top of the market, and you might not have that much equity when you buy, but at the same time, if you buy in a good area, you'll always get that appreciation. But one thing is, you don't have to come in and do a whole bunch of work, and that saves you time, that saves you money. And you can go right into getting a return on your investment, which is renting that place out and immediately, and not having to worry about spending a couple weeks or a couple months doing the renovation and accumulating holding costs and not making any money for a while. So if you're looking to do a set and forget type style thing, right, you buy turnkey investments. You're paying more. You're paying a premium for homes that are coming fixed up, ready to go, ready to rent. There's nothing wrong with that. And actually, there's people that do that because they have accurately assessed that my time and my value, my money is more, it will work better for me if I go right into getting something that's already ready for me, right? And that way, like, as soon as if I buy today, I can start looking for tenants tomorrow. My houses are set up like that, right? Well, some of them, depending, because I buy, depends, right? But yeah, like I buy, and then, and I'm not ready to rent them things out for another couple months because I'm doing work on them. I'm fixing them up, or in one case, it was like 4 weeks. I think I got a rehab done in 4 weeks one time. So those are the things that, come with having a turnkey property. But again, on the flip side is you're buying more. You're going to be buying more at the top of the market, right? Because you're paying a premium for a house. As is versus turnkey are two completely types of homes you may get. You can get as is properties that are as is property that you can move into right away or have tenants, do their thing. But if you plan on doing any renovations or things like that, then it's going to take some time. But turnkey, you go right into it and you rent the damn thing out. And to be honest, sometimes I would love that, right? Sometimes people don't want to go through having to hire contractors and do all that. Let me just get the house or the duplex or the multi-unit that's got the floors in it, that's got the replaced plumbing in there, that's got the new HVAC system, that's got the new fresh paint, that's got the granite countertops and the shaker white cabinets and the tile in the bathroom. Look, I don't have to go hire anybody to go do that work. I don't have to go interview nobody. I don't have to do, I don't got to do any of that stuff, and I can just pay a little bit more. Okay, cool, right? But again, your ROI might be a little bit different, right? So your rent rates, if you're your rent rates might be a little bit different just because you have more into the deal, and your ROI is going to shrink the more money you pay for a house, right? So if you were supposed to buy a house at, a house at $80,000, a house at like, $70,000, and a rent rate is like $1,400, that's pretty decent money. That's a pretty decent return on investment. If you buy for 70 and or you buy for 50, you put a little bit of money into it, you might be all in at 70, you're collecting $1,400 in rent. That's not a bad return, right? That's different than if you buy at the top of the market a turnkey investment where you might spend $100 and your rent, and even though you don't have to put any money into it, your rent rate is the same, $1,400. That return on investment is going to be very much different than somebody that bought as is and put $20K into it, and now they're at $70K and they're collecting $400 or $500 of rent a month, versus where you might have bought turnkey and you bought turnkey at $100,000 a month and the rent rate is $1,400. You might only be collecting maybe $250. So there's a difference, right? There's a difference. So you spending $250. You collecting $250, but you're not dealing with maintenance costs or anything like that, and you're banking on the appreciation in the neighborhood or rent rates going up, or stuff like, if you're banking on that, cool, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it pays more to have things already situated for you in a way you don't have to worry about the risks that come with renovating a house and having to spend money doing this, that, or the third, versus the guy that bought at 50, put 20 into it at 70, and they're renting it out for $1,400. They're collecting a lot more, but they had to put money into it, and it took them a little minute before they could get into the point where they could rent, because they had to renovate the house. So these kind of things happen. It's really just a personal preference. I know people that only buy turnkey. I know people that only buy as is. There's no right or wrong. It really just depends on how you want to attack these kind of scenarios, and what kind of rentals or houses you would like to buy. So appreciate the question, Sneaker Fiend. Always appreciate you consistently showing up every week. We got Action Jackson here. What's going on, brother? We got Ashley, Raymond Jackson. Appreciate you guys showing up. Again, remember, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We're going to wear our pink all month. If you support me, if you support the show, remember, screenshot this, post it to your story, and let folks know what we're doing every Thursday, 12 o'clock. Real estate Q&A sessions. If you guys consistently show up this month, I'm trying to let you guys know I'm going to be doing some things when it comes to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I have some prizes for you guys. So if you guys, I will actually let you guys know how to do what I'm going to be asking you guys to do, so you can enter into a chance to win some prizes for me. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We always going to be supporting Pink, always on us, every day, all day. Make sure that you guys are well taken care of on my end, right? So it's all about supporting. It's all about spreading the word. Again, remember, screenshot this, post it to your stories, and let folks know what we're doing. So again, ask questions. Also, even though I'm talking, please make sure you ask questions below. Don't ever feel like you can't ask no questions, or hop on the live and ask me whatever you're going to ask me. It's perfectly fine. So, but yeah, back to the story, what I was saying. So, guy had so basically went down to the basement, assessed the cost, I ran the numbers. I was building rapport with the guy, and as I'm in there talking to this guy, which is what you guys would do if you were, targeting off-market properties. If you were to be possibly wholesaling, some people still go through and do appointments, in-person appointments, in-house appointments. There's some people that just do virtual wholesaling. To each his own. There's pros and cons to each, right? In this scenario, I am trying to acquire this man's house. I'm in person. I'm talking to him. I'm building rapport. That's how I roll. I go to these appointments. And so, you can go and do everything right and be the nicest person ever and, negotiate and all that kind of stuff and still not get the deal. I did not walk out of that house with that deal, right? And I had spent 3 hours there. And that's just what happens, right? So naturally, when you go and negotiate and you're in somebody's home and you're at their dinner table and you're running numbers and talking numbers to them, just because we built rapport for 2 hours prior doesn't mean that you're going to walk away with a house, right? And so you have to understand that sometimes these scenarios pop up and you're not going to win every time, but it's all about the numbers, right? It's all about how often you're doing this. You're not going to win deals if you're not out there putting yourself out there, putting offers in, in people's homes, talking to sellers, all this kind of stuff. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to win any deals, right? And also one thing that happens is you gain a lot of confidence when you can sit there at somebody's dinner table, accurately run numbers and comps before you get there and know what you're talking about and make a strong offer, the best offer you can, and convince them why you are the person that they should be selling their house to. Keep in mind, while I was there, this guy was getting phone calls, like 3 or 4 phone calls, all from other investors that were calling him. So he had a hot property, and he had he had people calling him about it. So in these scenarios, guess what? You're never going to be the first person there talking to them, and most likely you're not going to be the only person they're talking to. So you got to put your offer in. You got to be strong and confident about your numbers, and people sense that. If you go into somebody's house and you're not confident, they can smell it, they can sense it, right? You gotta do your homework prior. You gotta know the comps. You gotta know what house is selling for. You gotta know what this house could possibly sell for. You gotta be able to run your numbers to where you can feel like when you go into somebody's house, not convince them, because I don't like to make it seem like convince them, but you tell them why you're the best person to sell their house to and how you can deliver, right? So all of this is practice, and I say all this from experience, right? Whenever you go and you're trying to do off market and get these deals, the lower deals, the deals that are going to have meat on the bones, most of them come from off market properties, not the turnkey properties, not the houses that's on the market. It comes with the off market properties because you can negotiate. You don't have a middleman, you don't have an agent, you don't have a broker. You're there. It's just you and the seller. So of that 3% and that other 2% or that 6%, that's not there, right? And sometimes that's the difference between a good deal and a bad deal, or a bad deal and a great deal, depending on the commissions and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not knocking agents because I'm an agent, right? But that's what kind of comes with that kind of stuff. So I didn't walk out with the house. I tried to negotiate for the car. It was an 81 Corvette that was sitting in the garage that he did not have the key for. He didn't have a key for the he didn't have a key for the car. He didn't have a key to get into the garage. And that car had been sitting there for 30 years with a cover on it. So I'm going to let you guys know right now, I've ran into some very interesting things going into different people's houses and all this kind of stuff. And sometimes, people have very cool things to offer up, and they try to sell with their homes. So this is one of the more interesting stories that I've had where, this guy is trying to sell not only a RV. It was like some Scooby-Doo looking RV, whatever. He was literally going to sell it for $0 and just tack it onto the house. And I was like, well, I guess I have an RV, an old-ass RV. But he also had an 81 Corvette that had been sitting in the garage for 30 years with a cover on it, right? Now, naturally, some things are not going to work with the car, and you'd have to get it fixed up. But the idea of a Stingray body, too, look those up. You talk about muscle cars, and that is a nice looking muscle car, Saturday car. So he tried to pitch that in with the house. I think he wanted 125. I offered 100K, and he didn't want to take the deal. I kept negotiating hard. I think I got up to like 115 just for the house. He didn't want to sell me the car. He wanted like the car for 18K. I literally pulled up used 81 Corvettes online, and it said that and these cars were fixed up and they were ready to go, and they were for like 18K. So I'm like, dude, why would I spend 18K on your car that you don't have the title for or the keys, that I haven't even seen right now? And even when I look through the window of the garage that we could not enter, you have a cover over the car. It hasn't started for 30 years, and I don't even know if that's a damn Corvette under there. But I'm sitting here trying to offer you cash for the house. I mean, not for the house, but the car. And you want to tell me I got to spend 18K to get that, and I can go online and go and buy something that's already fixed up and ready to go that I can take the keys and hop in and drive off with? No, not happening, brother. So it's just not happening. Like, I was like, yo, you can take this cash. I know you're 94 years old, but you can take this cash, right, and go on to Florida tomorrow and go to the Hard Rock down there in Fort Lauderdale and ball out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do that. But he didn't want to take it. And so we take L's sometimes. It's all about the fight. I was always taught, right, and this is for the people that are interested in doing wholesaling or seeking off-market properties through marketing, right? The stuff that you got to pay for, right? This is what I was taught. If you put the effort in, if you put any time into a deal, put an offer in, right? Doesn't matter if the seller says no or whatever, right? You spent time, you spent money, you sent mailers, you put out bandit signs, you talked to sellers on the phone, if you put the effort in, at least get to the point where you can put an offer in, and at that point, you don't have any control over what the seller is going to say. You've done the best you could, right? You do the best you can when it comes to putting in effort for these deals, right? So if you put any energy into buying a deal or talking to a seller, make sure it ends with you putting in an offer. You never know if you're going to get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my advice to you. That's kind of like a little bit what happened this week. I had another appointment that was a little interesting as well. But again, appreciate you guys for showing up. Camille, what's going on? El Presidente. Ashton, what's going on? Says Major Key. You're damn right it's a major key, right? You don't want to spend time and effort and money into getting somebody to actually call you, telling you that they have a house that they want to sell, and then you end it by not putting in the offer, right? Defeats the purpose of this, right? So that is action. That is taking action. That is you, getting out of your own fears, because it's not easy to sit there and try to, have somebody to tell somebody that you are the person they should sell their house to, a stranger, somebody they don't know, somebody that doesn't have a real estate license that's backed by a company, right? To go into somebody's house that you don't even know, a stranger, and make an offer, and they are convinced that you're the best person to deal with business-wise, and you don't have a huge company, you're just a regular person, that's looking to buy some houses. That says a lot, right? That says a lot, and it's not an easy thing to do. You have to have some emotional intelligence about you. You have to be able to read people. You have to be able to build rapport, and you have to be trustworthy. You can't be a snake. You can't, be deceiving. You have to be upfront with people, and that's whether you wholesaling or whether you're trying to flip houses, right? Same thing with working with agents and stuff like that. A lot of the best deals, go to the best people that are truthful and honest, right? And sometimes we lose out on deals, right? But you have to have some character about you. You got to have, you got to be consistent, and you also have to, be trustworthy, because people can sense when you walk into their home and you're trying to scam them out of their house. People can sense when you walk into their home and you're trying to, get over on them. They're already on guard, right? And so you win these deals by being genuine. You know what I'm saying? And I've won deals where multiple people were bidding on the houses and multiple investors were, calling the owners and all that kind of stuff, or they had dealt with 10 other people before they got to me. I've won deals just based off, my personality in being truthful and honest and having some integrity and being accountable. That's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've won legit good deals just off of that, and just being real with folks. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, yeah, this is business, and yeah, I'm sitting in this is a house, but it's all about people. How do you interact with people? Are you real? Are you fake? What's the vibe they get off of you? You know what I'm saying? Like, and not everybody's gonna be good at this and being personable and all that kind of stuff. Because I could talk to a tree for an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even know the tree. I don't even know the tree's name, but I can sit there and talk to the tree for an hour. I could do that, And so not everybody can do that. You have to practice it, but you also have to just be a good person. And people can sense good people when they walk into their space and their aura, right? And if I'm talking to 10 other investors and they ain't talking to me nice, or they, telling me like, oh, your house, your house is ugly. You don't never tell somebody their house is ugly, right? You don't ever tell somebody that, oh man, your house is beat up, or oh man, this house is ugly. No, you don't never tell nobody that. That's a part of emotional intelligence. Understand that that person has a emotional tie to his house. And by you degrading that house, it's probably going to send negative signals. They can talk about this it's just like your kids, or I can talk about my kids all I want, right? If I had kids, or my stuff, or my college, whatever. I can talk about my stuff, but you can't talk about my stuff, right? Same concept, right? Somebody else could say their house is ugly. Anytime I would go into houses and the seller's like, oh yeah, my house doesn't look good, and it's it doesn't, it's ugly, or oh man, I should have cleaned up. I never agree with them. I never do. This is a tip, right? This is a personal tip when it comes to interacting with sellers off market. You never agree with them if they say their house is ugly, or it's dirty, or it's not clean, or anything like that, or it's not renovated. I just be like, nah, man, this house is nice. This is perfect. I'd be in the ugliest of houses. I've been in the ugliest of houses. And I've been like, man, nah, they be like, oh man, my house is dirty or whatever. I was like, nah, it's fine. Like, this is a nice house. This is a nice house. Like, and I'm being for real. You know what I'm saying? Because those people have an emotional attachment to their houses. You don't go in there and bash somebody else's house. Right? So these are keys and some tips if you guys were ever to find yourself in a scenario where you are talking to sellers directly and you're at their dinner table and you're trying to convince them to buy your house. Well, convince you to allow them, you know what I'm saying. What's going on, y'all? Appreciate y'all for showing up. We got Don Souls in the building. Asher, what's going on? That's my line brother. He said major keys. Lamar, hey brother, it's breast cancer awareness month. That's my man's. You know what I'm saying? I know you rocky your pink somewhere today and all month. Shout out to you. Shout out to the fam. I hope everybody's doing well on your end, brother. It says my guy got Keneal. Says emotional intelligence, consistency, and character. That's real, man. Those attributes are what's gonna separate you from everybody else. And some people take this thing as strictly business, and they're, if they're in those spaces with those sellers, and they're only talking like robots or trying to remember scripts and stuff. It is not all about that, right? It's about connecting with people and having a genuine connection and being able to talk to where you don't seem like a robot. Right? You seem like you genuinely care about their house and you want to offer them a solution. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Ashley says, you sure can. I don't know what he's talking about, but I'm pretty sure you can. Or I sure can, whatever it is. Historic. Yes, very much historic. We got another question from Sneaker Fiend. If you guys didn't know, it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Wear your pink. Support those that are going through the fight. Shout out to all my survivors. Shout out to ones that are left in our memories. We riding for you all month and actually all year. Wear your pink. Wear your gear. Support the tatas, whatever you want to call it. Just, you know what I'm saying. Just make sure you support the cause, right? Everybody knows about somebody that's been affected by breast cancer, whether it's family members, whether it's your friends, your love, whatever. You don't even have to know nobody just to know that the disease is enough to go, it's enough to deal with, and it's even worse when you got to go through it by yourself. So if you don't know anybody, You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you donate this month, or maybe I don't know what you do. Maybe you go on social media and go on hashtags and find somebody that is posting this month, that is going through the fight or the struggle, and maybe you comment under their picture or something and show them some love. Make sure y'all do that this month, man, because again, you know, it's a serious disease, and it just sucks. It sucks. If you've never been through it, whether it's, you know, a woman or a family member or a friend or whatever, I'm just here to let you know it sucks. So that's why I'm going to go hard this month, and that's why also I'm going to be using this platform to have you guys engage and maybe win a prize at the end of the month if you've shown up consistently for all 4 weeks of this month. You know what I'm saying? Also, this month is my mother's birthday. So, shout out to moms. Shout out to all my people out there, again, supporting the movement and the cause. We got a question from Sneaker Fiend. Could you get a duplex with a FHA loan? Yes, the hell you can, Sneaker Fiend. That is actually what I did. My very first house, very first house, in March 2017, I acquired a duplex in Baltimore City through an FHA loan that had a 203K leg on it. That is what I did. And it was actually a great decision. Now, even though I, you know, messed up a lot of stuff, the idea of me being able to use an FHA loan and that had some renovation money attached to it to buy a duplex, my very first house, was a very exciting feeling. I didn't pay 20% down. You know what I'm saying? I put 3.5% down. And so I think altogether I spent a little less than $10,000 for the deposit and for my closing costs. And I had a duplex for my very first house, right? And I had fixed it up and I started making money off of it. Not immediately because things are tough and there were some scenarios that were going on with tenants and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But the idea of being able to buy a duplex with an FHA loan and fix it up, or, you know, do whatever you got to do, is a great thing, right? Because most people are overspending for these deals, right? And most people are also using conventional products. If you're using a conventional product and you're buying an investment property, guess what you're doing? You're spending 20%, right? You're putting 20% down. So imagine buying a duplex at $100,000. First of all, if you get a duplex for $100,000, shout out to you, right? But if you're buying a duplex at $100,000 and you're using a conventional product, you're putting $20,000 down. That's a lot of money. Right? That's just the bare minimum sometimes when it comes to these conventional products versus the FHA is 3.5%. You buy a duplex for $100,000, guess what you're spending? $3,500 on the deposit. So I'm saying all this to say, yes, you can buy a duplex with an FHA loan. I appreciate Champagne Jessie for showing up and showing some love. She says these videos are awesome. Thank you. Again, I support you guys. I appreciate you guys for showing up and you know, dropping things like that. When you guys tell me in the DMs and you hit me up in the comment section, you say this stuff, you know, these videos help you out, and you know, you appreciate me doing this kind of stuff, man. It makes me feel great. It makes me feel like, you know, look, this is the reason why I did this, and that it's actually, you know, affecting folks, and it's affecting folks in the most positive way. I don't care if I get one person that shows up every week, you know what I'm saying? But if that person is you know, gung-ho and they're going to go follow the advice that I'm giving and the gems that I'm dropping, and go out and make decisions that aren't going to lead them down a road where they're just making bad decisions and coming up in bad situations, damn, I feel great because I had a part in that, right? That's what this game is all about. It's about you know, learning from other folks and using other people's stories to, you know, help guide you through your journey, so you don't make mistakes or you don't fall into the same traps that some people do when they don't have that guidance. So if me doing this every week is going to allow you guys to, you know, grow in your own endeavors and not go out and make mistakes, and, you know, you're going to make mistakes, but not bad mistakes. If I prevent one mistake, a $10,000 mistake, then I did my job. You know, I say you got to not make mistakes, but if I can prevent you from making that one $10,000 mistake, like I said, I did my job. So I appreciate the feedback and lets me know that I'm doing the right thing. So y'all keep that coming, man. Keep showing love, man. Sneaker Fiend, I appreciate that question. Yes, you can buy a duplex with an FHA loan. I am 110% for buying your first crib or investment property with an FHA loan. The only thing is, if you do buy it with an FHA loan, remember you have to live there for a year, for at least a year, and a lot of people do that. It's called house hacking. Very much a good strategy if you wanted to get into multi-units and start doing that. So we got another question. We got a question from Champagne Jesse. Are you ready to start coaching people? I'm in South Florida and I am ready but nervous to start investing. So I want to say I coach to a degree. I mean, this is kind of like some coaching, right? Like I'm doing my weekly calls. I'm not weekly calls, but like my weekly sessions, and this is kind of like somewhat coaching, right? It's also a combination of me running my mouth sometimes, and then the other part is answering questions and offering advice and coaching people in different areas, right? I like to say that I'm not a guru. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a average, normal guy that knows a little bit about real estate. That's it, right? So, yeah, I'm in a position where I am willing to help folks get started. Obviously, I don't know if you guys know, I started a contracting business a couple weeks ago, and I am booming right now, doing some big things, linking up with the right people and doing some great stuff with my newfound company. So, my time's valuable. I'm very busy, but I'm also willing to help folks out. So yes, Champagne Jesse, if you got some questions and things like that, feel free to hit me up in my DMs, and we can work some things out and find a way to help you get started. Because obviously, it's tough to get started in this game if you don't have the right guidance. This is all about guidance, right? Imagine if we didn't do this and you were still talking about getting in the game, and the only way that you can get this is how impactful this is, right? All this, I've done this for 22 straight weeks, an hour a week, sometimes 2 hours. There's literally so much content on my feed about real estate and doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. People pay thousands and thousands of dollars for this kind of information, right? They pay thousands and thousands of dollars. I've paid thousands of dollars for some of my information. A lot of my information has come from experience. Don't get it twisted. I'm really out here in these streets. Like, I'm not even playing with y'all, right? But at one point, I did pay thousands of dollars to learn this information, or learn some of this information. Imagine that this platform's not here, right? Because this platform's free. Y'all tune in every week, every Thursday, 12 o'clock. Y'all can get as many gems as you want. I'm as transparent as possible. I tell you where I've done bad, done good, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I offer as much advice as I can, and it's for free, right? It's for free. Imagine trying to get in the game, you don't know anybody, and the only way you can get questions answered and the only way you can figure out stuff is one, on the internet, which doesn't give you the whole story or realistic examples of certain things, but two, the only other way is going and paying somebody thousands of dollars to learn this stuff. So this is how impactful this platform is, and I want you guys to understand that, and I appreciate you guys for showing up and asking questions like this. So yeah, this is a resource that you should be able to consistently use every week. If you go back through the catalog, it's literally 22 hours worth of content talking about real estate investing and all the different things that come with that. So yes, I understand you're going to be nervous when you start out, and you're not going to know who to run with, because you're going to think that people are trying to scam you and just take your $5,000 or your $10,000 or certain places $20,000 to learn this stuff. And that's a lot of money to entrust in somebody you don't know to tell you how to do XYZ, right? And ain't nothing wrong with that. There's some people that do that kind of stuff. Sorry about that, I had an interruption. But yeah, so I appreciate that, Champagne Jesse. Yeah, just let me know. Just hit my DMs. Let me know what you're trying to do. I usually do my best to help folks out in the best capacity I can. Am I willing to start coaching? Sure, to a degree. Maybe we can work that out. Maybe we can work something to where, I help you out. South Florida. I am from Florida. I always got love for Florida, even though I'm up north. I'm from Jacksonville, northern part of Florida, but also got family in South Florida. So all along the East Coast is where I got fam, and I spent a large part of my life there. So South Florida, if you're trying to invest down there, I'm equally as interested in your success and what you're trying to do. And so there you go, Champagne Jesse, appreciate that question. We also got another question. What lenders do you recommend? What if I already purchased my first home? Can I still use FHA again? Great question. Yes, you can. You very much well can. And the reason I say that is because FHA can be used multiple times, right? But there are some stipulations that come into play with that. So you just can't go out and buy FHA, houses, any type of FHA houses. You can't just do that, right? FHA, as you know, because you got your first home with FHA, requires some stipulations and things like that. But if you were to use FHA again, you very much well could. Let's say you bought a house this year, FHA, and let's say next year or 2 years, would have to be at least next year or 2 years, at least next year. You can use that product again, but the house, in so many terms and things that we're not going to dig too much into, the house has to be considered bigger and better. If you want to use that FHA product again. So they want you moving from, maybe your first time home buyers, your first home, right? As a first new buyer, maybe it's not the biggest house, but it's a decent house, right? And then you want to go in another couple of years, go buy a bigger house using FHA product. You can do that. So yes, FHA is flexible like that. As far as lenders, I would look at, obviously, you contact your local lenders, because I use hard money, so I use I use a different product when it comes to like my financing for my house. But talk to your different banks, right? Talk to different banks, talk to different mortgage brokers, and you shop. So you shop. All different banks have different interest rates. They offer different products and things like that. And so you want to shop. You want to make sure that, not only do you talk to your own bank, and sometimes here's another little tidbit, right? You might have a main bank, right, where you have a checking account, a savings account, and a credit card. You know what I'm saying? You might have a bank where it has all that stuff there, right? All your eggs are in that basket. That should be the first bank you choose, you select in asking what kind of products and rates do you guys offer for a home loan. But at the same time, maybe you don't want all your eggs in one basket, and maybe you don't want your loan to be at the same bank where you have, your home loan to be at the same bank where you got your checking, your credit card, your savings accounts, and all that kind of stuff. Because if the ship, when this is a little conspiracy, maybe a little I can't remember the word you call it, but maybe a little conspiracy theorist in me. I don't know, whatever the word. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I'm not gonna put all my eggs in one basket. I got like 4 banks. There's some banks that ain't got no money. There's some banks that got a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? And all my products and stuff like that are distributed out between different banks. So I don't like to have everything in one, all my eggs in one basket. So you can definitely not only check with your bank that your primary bank for your products and your bank loans and all that kind of stuff, but also check out other banks. It might be banks you never even considered, right? Credit unions, you check credit unions out. Credit unions are usually great when it comes to interest rates and offering home products for loans. But also their criteria and stuff like that is a little bit more stringent. Or they might have like membership type stuff, like Navy Federal. I bank with Navy Federal. The only way I'm able to bank with Navy Federal is because my father's prior military. So I had an account when he was in the military, and I've always had an account. I'm always going to have an account till then, I don't know if you're able to be a Navy Federal member if you don't have any affiliation with the military. Don't know, but you can also shop Navy Federal if you want to use any of their loans. So Navy Federal, check out credit unions, check out your local banks. It's really a lot of options, and the more options, the better, because you want to shop for interest rates and loan products just like you were to be shopping for some shoes. You don't just go to the shoe shop, and just grab your first pair of shoes you see on the thing, right? If you want some black shoes, you're gonna go shop at a couple different stores, or you're gonna look around and consider a couple different options before you just go and grab the first pair of black shoes you see on the counter, right? So same thing when it comes to these loans. Make sure you check out different banks. Make sure you ask their interest rates. You can get a couple pre-approvals. Don't quote me on this, but you can get a couple pre-approvals within a certain time frame to where it doesn't ding your credit. Because if you're looking for a house, it's kind of expected that you're going to get pre-approvals. I think you can get like 2 or 3 within like 60 days or something like that, without it like drastically killing your credit. Now obviously these places are going to be doing hard pulls on your credit, but there's a certain number of pre-approvals you can get to where it doesn't just like destroy it. I can't remember exactly what it was, but again, I'm letting you know this from experience. So again, Champagne Jesse, I appreciate you asking that question. Thank you. If you're a new follower, or if you haven't already done so, guys, screenshot the show, send it to your story, let everybody know what we're doing. We're doing this every week, each and every Thursday, 12 o'clock, real estate Q&A sessions for you guys, the people, the public, not me, but for you guys. So spread the love, show support, and again, this is all I ask. Just post it on your story and let folks know what we're doing. When you do that and we get new people in here, that's the only way we're going to learn new things, right? People got different questions, people have different experience. I had a girl in here from Arizona that was wholesaling mobile homes. So, right, in different perspective, different part of the country, different way they do things. You know what I'm saying? That's how we get value out of this show and in this space. So again, I want to make it a community type thing. You guys are a part of the community, this real estate Q&A community, whatever you want to call it, whatever show name you want to call this thing. You guys are a part of that. So again, I appreciate you guys for showing up. We got what was that? Bella Kaya. Hey, excuse me if I butcher your name. Just TC5, appreciate you guys showing up. I run DFC. What's going on, Destiny? Appreciate you showing up. You are showing up on the tail end. But I appreciate you showing up. Duval all day, every day. Hey, guys, outside of that, because I got probably about another couple minutes. If you guys didn't know, it's October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Wear your pink. You know what I'm saying? Show some love, baby. Yes. If you guys didn't know, last year we started a nonprofit organization in my mom's name, the Christine May Scholarship Foundation, and we hosted our very first own breast cancer walk on her birthday, October 26th last year in Jacksonville, Florida, at her elementary school, in which she taught for over 20 years. If you guys didn't know, obviously it was going to be a yearly thing. COVID is here. Obviously, we're in a pandemic. So I'm not going to ask you guys to show up and show out at a walk in Jacksonville this year. We are going to have alternative plans, and I hope you guys stick around to understand those plans, because at the end of the month, I'm doing some giveaways. So you have to come here consistently for the next 3 weeks. By next week, you guys will understand what I'm asking. I'm going to ask of you guys, and it's all about support. It's all about love. Right, and I'm gonna be doing some giveaways at the end of the month. Maybe on my mother's birthday. Maybe maybe at the very end of the month. So we'll see. You guys have to show up in order to know what that is and know how you can support. So again, appreciate you guys for showing up. Wear your pink this month. Go hug somebody that's got breast cancer as a survivor. Let them know we love them. Let them know we here for them. Let them know we support them. You know what I'm saying? We don't want anybody going through this horrible disease feeling like they're alone and that they ain't got no love. You know what I'm saying? Support our women out here. You know what I'm saying? Black women. Just support our women, right? That is just plain and simple, because breast cancer, it doesn't see color. It doesn't see personality. It doesn't see age. You know what I'm saying? So make sure y'all support our women out here this month, and spread the love, spread the pink. Wear your pink. You know what I'm saying? I'm always pinked up, guys. Dang it. You know what I'm saying? I'm always pinked up. So appreciate you guys showing up. We're going to wrap up. Next week, Thursday, 12 o'clock, tune in. Over the next couple of days, I'm going to be releasing some information on how we're going to get this breast cancer month started and how you guys can support and what prizes may be available for you guys when you guys come in and support the show. So, again, appreciate you guys. It's another day, Thursday, 12 o'clock, real estate question Q&A session. I'm out of here. Show some love. It's breast cancer month.